Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Garden People podcast. Above me, to my right, I have the skinniest lesbian boyfriend love I've ever had. He's the love of my life, and he always will be. It's my co-host, Harry Tandy.
Is it?
Oh,
Wow.
I thought it was me. I thought it was
That
me.
could have gone either way.
Okay,
It's the
shut
kind
up.
of company you
Not
keep.
finished. Not finished. Okay, up. Upwards to my left, we have the prettiest boy from Hong Kong. Apparently, I've heard, anyway, he escaped a local prison in Hong Kong. Fleed.
Let me-
By fleed, I mean he smoked a lot of weed and he killed a homeless old lady. That's what he did. It's my co-host, Samuel Twos.
For the record, I had to wear her skin as a camouflage back into the United Kingdom. So, just get it right next time.
For the video viewers, I'd like to kind of show what Callan is frozen as on my screen, because I think last
fuck.
episode I got paused Nazi saluting. So,
No, that's not me, everyone.
do with that image.
That's merely a
Do
snapshot
with
of
that
my life.
image what you will.
He looks like
There
the
we go.
kind of child predator you find in a park.
I win.
Mm.
Sam, you wanted
One
to tell us
hand
a
on
little
the
story,
Bible.
I think.
Now, branching into the wait, I gotta lift these up. They hurt. You said you wanted to tell a little quick story, Sam.
You did, the spooky story.
Yes. Well, I'd like to get into it. This anecdote is true, and it's not for the faint of heart. So,
Fuck,
if you
I've
were
got,
easily
I got STEM.
Huh? I've got syrup. Huh? You got
Yeah,
stem?
A stem
A
in my
stalk?
artery.
Just-
You know?
that sounds
Oh, a
contagious.
stint. Wait, is it a stent?
Do you mean a stint?
stent.
Keep it open.
Stent.
Yeah.
Stent.
Stint.
Yes. What do you call it?
Yeah,
Stem.
Sorry. A stem.
Yeah, you said stem.
Oh, I've got a heart. I've got a plant growing in my heart, Sam. You can't understand.
For the record, the
Please.
reason we're all wearing glasses is
Shut up.
because of Callan. Callan is the reason.
It's for Callan is why
Um,
we all have to do this.
I was
have to
crying.
subject these
I was
things
I was crying
bearing
at the office
into my
before this. This is
forehead.
why.
Look. Red mark.
He's having one of his monthly cries, and anyway, this story takes place when I was like 12, 15, somewhere between the two.
that's a vast period of time. That's
Yeah, my memory.
3 years
That's
Strong.
like from the start of school to almost GCSE, Sam. What the heck?
And it made an impact
He's
on
not-
me, and I've never told anyone.
Sam is good with moments, just not months and dates.
So this is for all my Freudians in the audience. So you two just stum now.
Should I put these down in preparation? As in, like,
Please do, yes.
Yeah. sorry, these are like. All right, ready? Please.
So, like I said, I was 12 or 16 at the time, and we were on a holiday in Wales in a place called Lake Barla. It's a real place if you want to look it up.
Where is it?
And in
said
Wales,
Wales.
on Lake Barla.
He just said Wales. You-
I know that was
Callan,
the bit.
just-
I'm sorry, gay Sam. Continue.
Just to-
Sorry that you guys
Expert
think so
dumb.
low of me.
No. No, I'm wait.
Sam,
So
continue.
what happened in Wales?
Yeah, what happened in Lake Bargy?
Don't worry. Yeah, that wasn't the whole story. If you let me finish.
It's a crazy story.
So
Yeah.
we went out. Motherfucker, just
Shit,
shut
Callan.
up. Mute
Callan.
yourself. So
If you would.
we go out for the day on a lake, and it's going fine, and suddenly, oh, what's this? I need a shit. I really need to shit. I can't just go in the woods because
I like these
there's a
kind of
car park.
stories.
So I look around, and luckily there's a public toilet close by. So I go, yes. But it's more of like a cubicle than an entire toilet. It's, if you can imagine it, it's kind of stone brick, and it's a single cubicle on the inside. So I go in, all excited because I'm about to have a poo. You know what you get.
As you do.
Those shivers. My hands shaking. Anticipation of the dollop.
I could hardly contain my excitement, let me tell you. But the first thing I noticed upon entering is how dark it is. There's literally no light, apart from the natural light coming from the doorway, which as soon as the door closes, just disappears.
And some
there's
man
a
with a flashlight.
There was a stench,
Sorry.
like a genuine stench, like that would make you. And I go, oh, it's Wales, isn't it? Like, no, no. There was one toilet. I peer in, and there is a turd, in the corner of the room, fully formed. You know, like a cartoon one with a swirl.
Got legs.
Like a Mr. Whippy one.
Like a Mr. Whippy, a chocolate Mr.
Yeah.
Whippy.
But it cost 50.
And either that was laid by a dog, so someone's let their dog in there, or some man beast took a shit in there. And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. But then I look up to the actual toilet seat, and there's pureed shit all around the rim and kind of up the walls. And it's as bad as you can imagine. It was just everywhere, and my thought was, I really wish it was a wee I needed and not shit. Like, where am I gonna? And I think, you know what?
Shit excitement went, did it? That
The
it was
shit
immediately foiled.
It made it go right back up. You know.
You walked in like an excited schoolgirl and left like
And
a
came out-
40-year-old depressed man.
Exactly.
Left us a scared.
That's the
man.
thing. I
He
was
came
left-
out physically aged by the experience.
I was left with a choice. Do I leave and hold it in, or maybe go in a bush or something like a normal person, or do I clean the rim off and
No.
Make
sit
a
down for
pizza.
Leave it. It's radioactive. Don't
Ooh.
touch it. Your hand will
was-
just disintegrate.
shit? I'll end up like someone from Indiana Jones, one of the Nazis in Indiana Jones, just melt, and then it become a part
Yeah.
of the shit in the toilet.
Well, you touch it and your finger becomes degloved and it's just bone.
Everyone in Wales who actually touches it becomes a part of it, ever growing the shit of the
Oh.
toilet.
Wait, I thought you were going to say anyone in Wales want to fess up right this
Well-
instant. This is your opportunity. This is a safe space to talk about your gigantic Mr. Whippy shit.
Thing is,
So please.
It was me.
I could have left, but I hear someone open the door as I'm in the cubicle.
Oh, you're on pause now.
So here's my predicament. I'm in a bit of a pickle. You know, I can leave and say, "Oh, someone else shit in the toilet. It's everywhere." But is that person going to believe me, or are they going to think I did it?
It's a
Or
tricky
do I
situation.
stay- It's a sticky situation, is what it is.
Yeah.
Shitty
Anyway,
situation.
long story long, I wiped the shit all off the rim with lots of toilet paper, much to my own disgust. Did my
Bro,
business, you know.
Yeah.
Did my business. It was sour. There was a sour smell in that room. Did my business, you know, left. And I don't think I spoke for the rest of the day. I must have just sat in the
Man.
back of the car, just pale, just.
That reminds me, when I was at Boardmasters, I was leaving a cubicle, and this girl went, "Are you done in there?" I was like, "Yes, that's why I'm leaving the cubicle, and not staying inside it."
Boosh.
I don't
Are
know
you
why
done in
she
there?
asked me
Boosh
if I-
that bitch.
Are you done in there?
She deserved it.
You
As
done
though,
there?
like I was gonna
Do you want
walk.
a quickie in the cubicle?
No.
No, I'm
Are
done.
you done in there? No, I'm gonna walk back.
Those toilets were lovely.
I'm
I
gonna do a
wash-
full circle.
I wash my hands of you,
It's
woman.
not as bad as the NCS ones. Well, like by the sound of it, Sam's shit exceeds that we saw at NCS,
Sam is. I
Oh,
don't know.
where someone
Sam's more of a
produced a
shitter.
body length of shit.
I am a fond
Yeah.
shitter, but I've never produced that anaconda of a shit that person left on NCS.
He died.
Well,
became a
I'm like, I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not a scientist, but the physics of that shit are like borderline impossible.
He created a black
That
hole.
man must have been like retreating. He must have been retreating up the bowl, in order just to snake it out, which is just elaborate. And like, we're about to speak about psychos in movies, but he was really ahead of like the game
That man
gonna
lost
say,
10
in
years.
terms of that.
He lost 10 years off of his life.
Yeah, he did.
He lost an internal organ to that shit. Jesus Christ.
Only a psychopath would shit that much. Ooh, segue.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, I was going.
It's the depraved
Wait,
things
before we
humans
go into
do
that-
is shit on the floor and murder people. No empathy or
Speaking of-
consideration.
In that
for others.
order.
Well, I don't know. You thought that was a good segue. Watch this one.
Go on,
We're
Harry.
speaking about utter shit, aren't we? I'd like to follow up on the Sia story with some more utter shit, which is the
Autism.
movie music.
Harry's talking about
Yeah,
autism.
that's- Like, that's what the movie is based around.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is true. It's really
Now
bad.
listen,
It's
the main actor, it's awful, isn't it? But like, so the main actor said she went pretty method, and she watched these like people. She watched people like with autism, like having kind of like freak out moments,
on YouTube.
and
on
that's how
YouTube,
she
but
that's how she studied. Yeah,
She studied it on YouTube.
that's how she
basically.
studied them, which is like. But what I don't understand is like why they didn't let an autistic person play the lead role
are
if they had autistic people in the cast.
are autistic. There's different levels, isn't there?
It's a
And-
spectrum, I heard. I heard there's a spectrum going
Yeah,
around.
I heard there's a spectrum.
Yeah, there's a spectrum
Callum,
of
I think you
autism.
should- I think you should linger back on this ever so slightly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not
Something
gonna
is
say. I'm
like-
gonna also say, aren't autistic people prone to seizures?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't think it's seizures. I think it's more just like an emotional freak out, maybe.
Oh, yeah, like-
But like anyway, so
Yeah.
what caught some heat in it is there's there's something that they do in psychiatric wards which is called restraint, which is where like when someone is having a freak out, they just pin them down like in a really humane, like inhumane way. And like so one of Sia's scenes is like the main character freaking out, and one of the dudes in the story
The
just
dudes.
physically restrains her having this freak out and says, like, hold on, it's like I'm crushing her with my love, or something. It's it just misses the mark, and
Is-
it just like the whole movie seems just insensitive.
Is
At the
the
end of the
point
day.
of the movie to show what is the point of the movie? What's the plot?
I
In
don't know
fairness,
what the plot
we
is.
haven't seen. We
because I
haven't seen it.
it.
So for full discretion,
Yeah, if the
we
plot
don't know.
if the
But-
plot has anything to do
but-
with like the mistreatment of autistic people, then I think that's justified in a way.
No, 'cause
No, but this
he's
is
meant
like,
to be our
but
friend.
she's
He's meant to be our
advocating.
friend.
Yeah.
Oh,
That like it's somewhat it's meant to be one of her like or like her lover or something in the story just doing that to her
oh, I see. So
as though like,
it's a normal
as
thing.
though it's like a regular occurrence.
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
which like inadvertently
Condoning it.
advocates
And
that
it
that's
doesn't
the way
it
to
doesn't
yeah.
actually happen in extreme cases, like in hospitals, for example.
No,
It
I
happens in
think it happens in.
psychiatric wards.
Yeah, but I think it's not. If you asked an autistic person whether they would choose to be restrained or not, they would probably say no. It's quite traumatic. I don't think I want to be.
yeah.
I don't think I want
completely
that
agree.
kind of promoted in a movie.
I completely agree
I'm not
with you,
one for
Sam.
cancel
don't-
culture. I don't like cancel culture, but I think
Amen.
it was a bad idea to make this film.
Go
If-
on, Sam.
Well, like Sia's not being cancelled. That's
No,
the thing.
but
She's not
you-
being cancelled. She thought she was, which is why she deleted her Twitter. Because like a ton of people were telling her like how shit her movie was, and saying like, and then no, what was it? She cited Autism Speaks as like one of the sources behind the movie, which is like notoriously shit. Apparently,
Is that a charity?
yeah, but that it's not. It's like a learning website or something.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
the first thing that pops up on Google. Apparently.
Brilliant.
But yeah, it's just they were like, yeah, you've just totally missed the mark, and it's just become like very just offensive. I'm gonna take this off.
And very
Boring
insensitive.
into my skull.
So
Yeah.
my
Like
my bets
extremely
are
insensitive.
And
off her winning a Golden Globe. I just don't see it happening. And if it does,
Well, I don't
You'll
know
have a
why
bunch
she was
of-
put in for one.
the foreign press are
because the
That makes
Golden
sense.
they are mischievous, Colin. They are mysterious in the way they work. No, there's no rhyme or reason to it. They are just no one knows.
they're beyond beings.
Blowjobs. They trade in blowjobs. That's my theory. Yeah, you have a
Should
bunch
write
of
that down.
autistic people storming the Golden Globes this year, and pitchforks and. Like,
It's safe to say that
don't know, it's
Sia
just-
was being quite unempathetic to the autistic communities, and talking about
Well,
lack
she
of
seemed
empathy.
rather aggressive.
Psychopaths.
oh,
Oh, yeah.
That was
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a good segue, Callan.
I like
That
that.
was a good
you.
segue.
I was like playing chess, but with the segue. It was genius.
You were just waiting for your move. You were like, "Oh, has he stopped talking yet? I can just segue."
Checkmate.
I got a fistful of notes.
Oh my
If I
god.
can read them.
I
Yeah.
didn't bring notes.
Well, they're primarily on American Psycho.
That's my
but
notes.
I imagine that you don't want to talk.
Oh, yeah,
you both
completely
brought
American
notes.
Psycho. Yeah, it's okay. Well, I'll throw you a bone. And I'll
You
leave
thro-
in topics that you can
It's alright, I did-
expand
Only a
on.
little bone.
Don't worry, I did do my homework. I'm just hoping it's all in here. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
write some stuff on my hand to give me pointers. Anyway,
Well, I think the thing that we're almost fresh with is wait,
That's
before, let me preface.
Wait,
all
wait,
of
wait,
this.
wait, wait. Shall we start off and yeah?
spoiler warning. Spoiler
Introduction.
warning.
No, yeah, that's what I'm
to what we're
saying.
doing.
As in,
Okay.
so we're talking about psychopaths in like movies and how they're presented and like how they differ across the board. So it's like we're gonna be the things I have done is I'm gonna spoil American Psycho, No Country for Old Men, and Natural Born Killers. Those are the three
Okay.
that I have notes on. And then,
Uh,
are you guys gonna spoil anything?
We can do our best at
So- I
not
didn't
trying to
watch
spoil
Gone
it,
Girl.
but if the spoiling is like integral,
Well, we'll just put the warning in
It's
there.
it's kind of
If
integral.
you don't want these films spoiled for you, just don't watch. I was gonna go into Gone Girl, Seven, and Nightcrawler as well as Harry's ones.
Yeah.
that
Maybe
was-
well,
Silence of the Lambs.
you guys
but
said it
probably
all.
not.
So, I think to start off with, we should go with the one that's most fresh, because that way, then we have like a vast topic to talk about. So,
yes.
No Country for Old Men.
The most you ever lost in a coin toss.
Fuck off. Brilliant.
What were you guys? What did you guys think about
I
it?
thought the
Well-
actor was amazing.
He's top notch in it.
What's his name?
And he won.
What about you,
We
Sam?
He didn't win anything, but he's rated like top psychopath depiction in all of movies done by the study in like 2003. They watched like 400 movies over 3 years, and he came out on top as the most realistic depiction of a psychopath.
You know Javier Bardem, who's the guy that played him. He actually got an Oscar for that role.
Did he win?
He won an Oscar for supporting actor for that movie.
Oh, nice. Because he's not acting though, is he? He's
Yeah, that's him.
he's
Should
method.
being
He
him.
went and
Him on
killed a bunch of
Xanax.
people and then just turned up on set.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I like
shark
that,
eyes.
like-
and-
I like the air compression tank that he uses to like kill people.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, that's what they use to kill
Okay.
cattle, don't they? Like
Yeah.
a compressed.
But I swear they have a
rod and
bolt.
just-
They have a bolt
Yeah.
that comes out and
Yeah.
does it.
I assume
Is
that's
he
what he's
holding
killing them with.
Is he?
He just
I
puts
thought
it to
was
their
just,
head.
I
like,
thought
compressed
shoots
air.
maybe.
I thought it
I
was
might be
just
wrong.
air.
I thought it was
It
a
was like-
bolt going into their head.
Because like I
And
don't
it
think
was
he
the
puts
compressed air
doesn't
shooting
put a
it
bolt
out.
through the door. Like when he's he breaks open into doors. I don't
Yeah.
think he puts. I thought that was
Oh.
just air. Like a
Yeah.
Oh, I
thought
might
he
be
blows
wrong.
off. He
I might be
blows off
wrong,
the
actually.
handle like that.
Sorry,
But
I thought it was the
So-
thing they killed cows with, and I thought that was like dark.
Yeah,
'cause it's
that's
like
what
he
I thought
sees
was happening.
People like cattle.
he sees
but
them as cattle.
compressed
yeah.
air. That's just as crazy.
He might even just put like little bits
It's
on
crazy.
like peanuts and stuff in it as well, so you can shoot at like 100 miles per hour into your forehead.
Just picks up nice stones he finds on the road, just
He's
shoves
like,
them in there.
He's like picks one up.
Well, I don't know. Like
That's a
something
keeper.
I want to.
That's a keeper.
I think something that's similar between like Natural Born Killer and like No Country for Old Men is like just like apex predator
Yeah.
psychopaths.
Yeah.
And like I thought the coin was meant to represent like the duality of man, as well as like the flip between predator and prey that happens throughout the movie. Because you have one hunter who's being hunted by a different hunter, and then you have Josh Brolin's character who is the prey, but then sometimes he flips it and he becomes the hunter. Like when he fires the shotgun and makes the dude leap behind the car,
Yeah.
and he pursues him, it switches back and forth between who is like the one hunting who. Wait,
Boom.
before we carry on, well, like, why did Josh Brolin's character take the money, though?
I think
At the
maybe he's a
beginning.
hunter. His job is a hunter. I'm pretty sure. Maybe.
Yeah,
And so
but why would he
Because
not refuse to give it back? Why did?
because
yeah.
I think for a guy who lives in a caravan and goes out hunting every day, I think when you see that much money, of course you're going to want it. Maybe his life wasn't really leading anywhere. I don't know.
And he has a wife,
Yeah.
doesn't he? He has a wife to think about.
Yeah, that is true.
Oh yeah, but
She'd be awful happy
But
with
then
all
they-
that money.
well,
And
she's not happy.
and he
'Cause
maybe
everything, like-
he knew the guy was going to probably kill him anyway, even if he gave him the money. So there's probably that whole thing.
Oh, because he was dealing with a psychopath. I think we should just cover what we term as a psychopath.
Oh yeah, do you have a
As
definition?
layman. I don't have a definition on me, but I think it's someone who has complete lack of empathy and regard for human rights. Like,
Yeah.
they're
But
self-interested.
But a
Self-obsessed.
psychopath is someone who's born that way, and then
Yeah,
a
you
sociopath
can't-
is someone that learns that behavior.
Well, I thought sociopath and psychopath were
And become-
interchangeable. Like, they weren't that
I think
different.
sociopaths
thought-
are. I know the whole point is that they. Social, what was it? Antisocial disorder as well. That's what it's called. I think.
Yeah,
They're
that's how they diagnose you, because they don't diagnose psychopaths or sociopaths. That's
Well, I
not
think.
a thing.
Charlotte,
if
I
you were a
think
professional.
can sociopaths form? They can form extreme relationships and they can rely on people. But psychopaths are completely like
So can psychopaths.
the free for all. They're the only ones, leader of the pack, sort of thing.
I did read
I don't
read
know.
something that sociopaths can understand guilt and remorse for things, but they do it anyway. Whereas a psychopath just feels no human
Ah.
emotion.
They're
So
like-
that's
like
where
sharks.
That's where natural born killers and No Country for Old Men differ, because they speak about in Natural Born Killers how they know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah,
They just don't care at all.
yeah.
So that kind of
So yeah, he's
destroys it.
sociopathic.
But I was going to talk because Natural Born Killers and No Country for Old Men talk heavily about fate and fate leading them into situations. Like No Country for Old Men is completely built on fate leading like people into different situations. Like fate that Josh Brolin stumbles across the money, and then like the killer following him talks about the coin and how the coin is like don't throw away this coin, don't get it jumbled up with other coins. This coin has been travelling all this way just to lay here and save your life.
Boom.
So don't jumble it up with the other ones. And it's like... And then
Oh,
he
yeah.
describes himself as the coin at the end. Which is why I think he gets so angry when the woman is like, no, I'm not going to call it.
Yeah.
Because it's like he sees himself like acting as the coin. But then she questions him and says, are you acting because of the coin, or is the coin acting through you and you don't know it? And then, yeah,
Boom.
I don't know, but it's like, yeah, fate. Fate leading all the characters together, especially in No Country.
Yeah, I think.
And then
also-
Natural Born Killers, he talks about fate.
Yeah, he talks about fate of him and his wife. What's her name again?
Mm.
Getting together. But I think
Mallory.
also that it's also
Mallory.
perspectives on fate as well, because you've very much got him in Natural Born Killers, who's like, I believe in fate, it's fate. And then you've got obviously Robert Downey Jr.'s character, although he does go crazy towards the end. He's like, but it's
He
not
just-
fate. He's like, that your idea of fate is stupid. Then if you contrast with
Yeah, he's
Old
like-
Control Men, he's also so obsessed with fate. Like, I know that I'm gonna be victorious at the end of this. I know I'm gonna go and kill them. Like, he knows that he
Yeah.
thinks he's in control. But then the other guy, the
Yeah, exactly.
the hunter's like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like doing it along the way. I don't believe I'm gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, well,
he's like, he doesn't really have
The
a fate.
psychopath is the one that tells people cool it, and he gives them the illusion of control when they don't have control, and he's really in control.
Yeah.
And he thrives off being in complete control of everything, and like that's why he toys with like Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah.
When he sits him down, he's like, you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, and even like linking to
It's
like,
like, yeah, I
American
do.
Psycho, they have like this godlike. They think they're like God, like sort of like this godlike
Yeah,
persona.
they
Like
do.
he's so self-obsessed and narcissistic. He thinks he's like the whole world revolves around him, and that he's doing all of this stuff.
Which is why it's so like the two scenes at the end of the movie completely challenge him I
Yeah.
imagine it's because they want to show you his worldview is probably expanded after those incidents. Because the woman says, "I'm not going to cool it," which throws him completely out of control, and he gets like visibly frustrated.
Yeah.
And then the car hits the other car.
Yeah, which is a good like. It's
a complete random act of fate.
Yeah, shake up in
Yeah,
his
but like we
And
reality.
he's like,
Like we said,
Yeah.
why did that car go though? You know.
I think
So-
it is
I
at the end of the movie. They
think
show
they
it's
don't
not.
see right
who's
to
driving
drive.
it.
Yeah, because like literally the
Yeah,
entire
it's
movie,
just-
No, but
every time
sorry.
you see him, you're like,
From the driver's perspective.
oh
From
yeah,
the driver's
fuck.
perspective though, why did he? Maybe his wife was giving birth and he jumped the lights and then just managed to hit a serial killer.
Maybe he heard.
Yeah.
Who's to say? Who's to say?
Well, it's like it's meant to throw the because the
Maybe
killer
it was
when
Josh
he gets out the
Brolin's
car.
ghost. It was Josh Brolin's ghost took the form of a car.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, it was the guy. You know, it was
But
the
when
guy
he,
that was
like-
dying in the car. You know, the Mexican that was dying in the car. He then actually came alive again and started the van. He just went into the side of him.
Yeah, he's a
Struggling.
zombie.
Oh.
He put himself back together just to kill that dude.
He changed colour.
But it's like he changed colour.
No, because
Peeled off his.
I'm pretty sure the guy driving the
turned
car
blue.
is Caucasian,
A necrophiliac.
and the guy in the van is. Oh God, never mind.
No, it's not. It's not racist to say. It's not even racist.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
racist to say Mexican, but then became
I'm
Caucasian.
pretty sure
That's
it's a
not
white guy
offensive.
in the car,
It's
so
fact.
that theory is blown over because it's ridiculous. So it's probably just a random guy.
I just wanted to comment on the fact that you have Javier Bardem's character who just kills random people. You know, he pulls up to that guy's car and goes, "Hold still," and then just kills
Yeah,
him.
he's-
Like, there's no reason. There's no reason to kill that guy,
I th-
but he's a psychopath.
I
Like,
th- I
he
thought
shows
the-
no empathy.
Yeah.
I thought that was just so because
Well, he's like the
he had-
coin.
he
He's
had the
going
police
with the
car.
whim.
He had the police car.
Yeah,
and
but he
needed
didn't-
to-
He needs a car.
He needed a car that wasn't
And
a
they
police
and
car.
they state in the they state in the movie
Oh,
anyone who
shit,
gets in his
okay.
way, anyone who gets in his way gets killed
Yeah.
essentially, which is
Okay.
why it's like Josh Brolin's character has to die regardless of him giving back the money or not. He's still gonna die because he inconvenienced him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He acts impulsively, and in Natural
Yeah.
Born Killers, they're staying with that kind of Native American man, and they
Yeah.
there's that really trippy scene at the
Oh, God.
snake,
Yeah.
and he just kills the guy. He just kills him for no reason.
Well,
and
he's freaking out. He
'Cause
starts freaking
He
out.
literally
and he kills
just
the dude by
he
accident.
literally like does the prophecy of what the guy said like about the snake. And the guy was like, I invited
what
a
I'm saying.
snake into my home and then it bit me and then I was like, why did you bite me? And
Yeah,
it's like,
and then-
because I'm a snake. And then he goes into
I'm
his
I'm a
home.
snake.
Well, that's
kills
like
him.
the
But that's what I'm
that's
saying.
like the
he acts
scorpion and the toad
impulsively.
analogy.
He is a natural
Impulsive?
born killer,
Yeah.
even if he can't help killing people.
Yeah.
Exactly, he's born this way.
Well,
and
yeah.
I'm drawing up a difference between that and Seven, where you have John Doe, played by Kevin Spacey, who plans all of his kills meticulously to fit this
Yeah.
grander scheme, which is entirely unrealistic of a psychopath. You know, he acts
Yeah.
kind of meticulously to every detail.
Yeah.
Like, everything has to look right so that the detectives following it go, oh my god, it's Dante's Seven Deadly Sins. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
That's like film psycho, you know, that's more like a movie villain, whereas the guys,
Yeah.
the other two we're talking about, fit more a realistic
Like,
psychopath.
in the moment
That's what I'm
sort of
saying.
thing. Yeah, like they're chasing whatever they're
Yeah.
feeling, whatever they get
Well-
off on. They're chasing that like continuously.
Well, no, I think-
rather than planning it all out and then expecting, putting so much faith into like getting the reward at the end. You're
Exactly,
like,
that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
I was gonna say the difference between Natural Born Killers, Woody Harrelson, and then No Country for Old Men is obviously he's controlled and he controls the universe, but Woody Harrelson's character acts more on a whim than the No Country for Old Men one. Like, he doesn't mind if he's inconvenienced by a situation. He kills, but he doesn't care.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
just moving and moving and moving. He's not like the like other character who has like a somewhat code where it's like, if you get in my way, you're gonna die.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
more of
Even
like
if
a
it's like
just
yeah.
like impulsive. Like he's kind of like on the run, rebel
Yeah.
sort of character.
But that's where I think they differ, because he fully knows that the universe is not his to control,
yeah. He's just riding it, but
and
he's having
he's
fun.
moving around. Yeah,
Exactly, he's just
he's
along
riding
for the
it, and
ride,
he's-
and he's kind of taking everything he can from it,
Yeah,
yeah.
snatching it.
He
But that's what
definitely-
makes. But like I thought, I thought what was really interesting, especially the riot. Have you seen? You know the riot scene where he's telling that Johnny joke,
Yes.
where he's like,
yes.
"What were you doing, little Johnny?" And then he
Little Johnny
and then he
in
breaks
the back
out.
Of the car.
Yeah, little
That
Johnny in
scene's
the back of the
perfect.
car.
I love that scene.
Yeah, that was my favorite, probably, I don't know, second favorite film, maybe, because that scene is just too good. That's totally Quentin Tarantino's writing though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But also,
that's where
at the
it
end of-
shines through.
At the end of the film, they take Robert Downey Jr.'s character into the woods, and he's like, "You don't need to kill
he
me.
thinks
Like,
he's
I'm not
safe.
gonna tell anyone. Don't kill me." And they just kill him
After-
because it's funny to them. They film him and they just shoot him. And as the audience,
Well,
member,
they
you
do,
go,
and
whoa, shit! I wasn't really expecting them to kill Robert Downey Jr., but they do, and it's
I
But they
was.
expect it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like oh, it doesn't
No,
shock
'cause, like-
them. It's like, oh, we didn't expect it to happen, but it's like we knew that they don't give a
Well,
shit.
what I find ironic
Yeah,
about
we
Robert
thought he
Downey
probably
Jr.'s
might.
character is they say, he's literally just gone crazy and he started killing people. Robert Downey Jr.'s character is firing aimlessly at policemen
Yeah.
and stuff, and then they don't get a chance to plead for their lives. And then when they confront him and they're like, "We're about to kill you," he's like, "Don't do that! No, please. You always leave a witness alive." And they're like, "We did.
Who did the camera?
The camera."
Yeah.
That's so
it's like
fun.
Yeah.
he got manipulated rather than him manipulating them, which is what he wanted. Like in the interview, he wanted to manipulate them.
Yeah.
Kind of get good
Okay.
views and ratings, but then he got manipulated
Exact-
into oh yeah, shit, I want to have more fun than I ever could in this weird psychopathic lifestyle that the guy was talking about.
I like the scene where he's firing the gun and he rolls around like shit.
Yeah, he's like he's in a video
Have you
game.
seen it where he yeah, he's like, "Motherfucker!"
Oh, fucking the guy's like,
He,
calm
rolls
down.
over. Woody Harrelson is like,
Woody Harrelson is like a lizard.
Yeah.
He's got a big smile, isn't he?
he doesn't care though. Even when Robert Downey Jr.'s character is interacting with him,
Yeah.
and you think they're being friendly, it's very evident Woody Harrelson just doesn't view him as
yeah,
human.
just he's literally
at
just
all.
like,
And
I'm still
equal.
top of the
He's
food chain. Bang. Pretty much.
yeah. Well, he uses being top of the food chain pretty well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What does he
What I
say? He
was gonna
says,
But yeah.
he says when I kill someone, you say, what is it? Why bother? I don't know. But he basically goes why bother not killing them? That's good. Sorry. I
Well,
messed that up.
I think his reason, I think his reason to kill was pretty, because he just goes the full veganism route, and he's like, well, we mass slaughter animals, we tear down forests. What's so inhumane about killing another human comparatively to what the human race is already doing?
Genius.
It's like what I'm doing is very minor.
He causes a
compared to-
riot.
Yeah, he does. He gets on with it.
Going back to what Callum was saying about manipulation, I was just going to tie in, kind of, if there was a moral of natural born killers, it's the role of the media in such cases of, serial killers and that.
Yeah.
And I was going to draw a
Yeah.
parallel with Gone Girl, because in Gone Girl, where
Shit. Yeah.
Rosamund Pike is the kind of female, she fits the psychopathic trope, the media plays so heavily into that kind of
It's
film
all over the news.
that it makes and it's kind of manipulating the case because everyone's involved. The people form their own opinions on it even though they don't know the facts,
Yeah.
and it's like with natural born killers, it makes us think as the audience about ourselves and our role in society with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying about what Woody Harrelson is saying, what makes me so different when we're all chopping down cows every day,
Yeah.
and everyone's fine with that. I kill some people and everyone goes crazy,
Mm.
But yeah, about the media thing, it's they become famous, don't they?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Mm.
Here,
They become superstars,
the face of
celebrities.
Yeah.
Mickey and Mallory. Yeah.
Well, it's I feel that's Tarantino's tongue-in-cheek way of being think about who you're idolizing.
Exactly.
it's-
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Think
and him,
about it
do you
very
reckon
carefully.
Quentin Tarantino is from Los Angeles. He's grown up there. Do you reckon he was inspired with that ending about them being glorified in the news as these attractive people? If you guys have not seen Night
Yeah.
Stalker, at the end he gets sent like boob pics from his fans, even though he's killed all these he's done all these horrible crimes.
Yeah.
He gets a fan base because
Ooh.
he's decently handsome.
Yeah.
So like all these women like are attracted to him, and he's like posted in the news as this like psychopathic hottie, and all these people are like sending him stuff. Which in Natural Born Killers, the guy is in the cell and he's getting like love letters from fans of his, and when they're walking through crowds of people, everyone's
Yeah.
like trying to grab him. It's like he's a celebrity. Do you reckon Quentin Tarantino was
Exactly.
probably
Yeah,
inspired
exactly.
by the murders that were happening in Los Angeles?
Well, like he also
Could have
Well, he
been,
also
could have
talks
been.
about. Yeah. Well, he also talks about these reporters who are benefiting off the killing as well, because he's like, who did we beat? We beat Manson in the ratings, didn't we? No. Wait, he says, nah, you didn't beat Manson. What about that freak Ted Bundy? Oh, you beat him. You beat him by far. It's like they've killed humans like sheep, and he's like Robert Downey Jr.'s character doesn't care about the killing.
No,
They're almost as
exactly.
He wants
bad.
the money from the story. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like,
Well, can I just
where's
say,
the line between what he does and what Woody Harrelson does?
it's like Nightcrawler, which I was going to bring in anyway, which is all about, you know, filming tragedies like car crashes, home invasions, where people are dying, and his ambition is to become the best recorder of people in their final moments, to make money off that, selling it to news
Yeah.
channels. And that's another thing that makes you go, oh, he's the bad guy, but we're the consumer who's watching that sort of shit. And you have
Yeah.
them, like, going into back to psychopaths and them as celebrities. You have Netflix, there's a whole crime thing, and it's all documentaries on serial
And it's
killers
very
and
popular.
stuff. It's very popular, and there's nothing wrong with finding it interesting, but it is an
Yeah.
interesting kind of idea
Well, it's
that we as a
like,
society
especially with
enjoy that sort of thing.
Yeah.
especially with, well, I'm not sure whether either of you two have seen like the Ripper, the Yorkshire Ripper documentary.
I haven't seen it, but I'm intrigued.
But there's
I haven't seen it, but I know
So,
Peter Sutcliffe.
there's a really good, there's a
personally.
really
I know him
weird
personally.
point. Yeah, I met him once or twice. He thought
I'm
I was
part
a
of his,
woman,
I'm part of his
and then
fan
he,
base.
and then he found
I
out I
send him
wasn't.
nudie pics.
all this
You know?
tops from
He
Strangler.
hammered me in the back of the skull and realised I wasn't worth it. But like in it, he like the police start getting sent imitation letters essentially.
Copycat.
Where like someone's pretending to be him. Yeah, copycats. And it's like that's the fan base that is like how did he create a fan base?
Yeah.
And they're like they didn't help the police. They started more like the documentary goes into why the police were useless in the situation. But it's like in all fairness, they got sent an audio tape by someone pretending to be him,
Fuck.
like talking about like how he enjoys it and stuff.
Hmm.
And then they got a letter sent to them, and they didn't realize what kind of they tried to analyze his handwriting, and they were like, I've seen this before. So they go back to the Jack the Ripper, the notes that he wrote,
Yeah.
and someone's imitated his hand
Oh
to
shit.
write them.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it's like you can understand why the police were slightly thrown off
Yeah.
when it started creating mystique around a serial killer.
Yeah, they become
And
these
just,
like evil
like, yeah.
characters.
Yeah, like it's more evil to you're letting him continue essentially.
We've not had one in.
You're throwing the police off.
We've not had one in the UK in a while. Like, a big famous one. We have more
That
child
you know
molesters. Than,
of?
we have more child molesters than
That
serial
we know
killers.
of. Well, I haven't been caught yet. So. I was a child molester. Oh
Was
shit!
that a child
you said that
molesting,
wrong.
Harry?
Yeah. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
It's like I heard child. I was gonna say.
I
that
heard
joke
the
and
word
then call it
child.
a child molester at the end of. I heard the word molester, and I instantly thought of a funny joke.
Harry's a molester of farm animals.
Yeah, cats.
Yeah,
Only
farm
cats.
cats.
From when I
Big
worked at the cattery.
Ginger cats especially, because you love ginger cats. Sick fuck.
Specifically ginger cats.
Wait.
Only ever.
I was thinking we should go for another break. Well, a break. Because I'm on another
Oh yeah,
beer.
sure. I wouldn't mind going for.
I need a
another
piss. I need a piss so bad. Piss so bad. Piss so bad. Piss so bad.
I bet you didn't expect that little break.
What do you mean?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Never mind, guys.
Anyway,
Alright, anyway.
back to Harry's point on copycats with the Peter Sutcliffe thing, and you know you had that sort of thing with the Zodiac, like people cold calling and going, "I've done it again."
Yeah.
I think the whole kind of celebrity status of serial killers really appeals to teenage white girls like Macy Coombs and incels.
I feel like they just like learning
Yeah,
about
okay,
it.
and then incels actually.
But I feel like teenage white, like my girlfriend and Macy, like to learn about it. But incels actually take it as like a code.
Incels kind of
sometimes.
romanticize it and go,
And
that could be me.
both of your girlfriends
be
are
me.
incels, so it makes sense.
It does. If they
Yeah, exactly. And they're both serial killers.
so far,
Yeah,
we just got
yeah.
lucky.
OnlyFans members.
I'm looking to tie the knot before she kills my family.
It's like a shotgun wedding, but at the end of a
Oh God,
coat hanger, a knife.
you know that film that was like, I didn't see it, but I remember seeing the trailer, and it was like this newly wedded couple, and the guy takes his girlfriend to see his parents, and then during the dinner, parents go, "Okay, on the count of 10, we're gonna start hunting this lady," and then the guy looks at her and goes, "Oh, by the way,
like
I've
the dinner
seen it.
party
I've
one.
seen it. Yeah.
yeah." And then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, sorry, we do this.
Have you seen it?
We do this every year."
Yeah, it's Christmas at Macy's house. I really related to that film. There's a deep connection with me and that. But going back to the...
You got hunted by her
Oh,
sisters.
no, I was one of the hunters.
Sorry.
We just picked up a homeless man and set him out.
No, you
released him
weren't.
from the
Don't lie
kennels.
to
We
me.
said, "Be free now." And then we chased him with air rifles. Not enough to kill him, just to maim him. And then we finished him off.
Air rifles and like umbrellas with knives in them.
But going back to the incel thing, Joker brought in all that controversy when it was made as a film because people were like, "Oh, you're just, you're making it look really attractive to incels for that sort of behaviour." And you can
Yeah.
somewhat see why people would make that argument, but at the same time, a film was a film. Psychopaths are real. There's normal people like us, and I say us hesitantly, looking at Harry, that enjoy that sort of thing, and aren't gonna go and kill people and wank on their corpse.
What?
You know what I mean?
Why did you exclude me from that?
Corpse wanks.
I've
You-
never
you-
done it,
You
and
do
you've
look like
never
a corpse
caught me.
wanker, Harry. You do.
How you do look like a corpse wanker.
I'm not a. Oh. Guilty as charged.
They call you. They call you Phil. They call you Phil within the
They
serial
call
killer.
me Phil.
They call you Phil
Not
within a
because-
serial killer community because Phil is short for necrophil. And that's what you are.
I thought that was going to be worse, like Phil.
The graveyard.
Oh,
The graveyard.
oh,
The graveyard.
you're such a
stomper.
nasty boy.
Ooh.
They call me Phil.
They call you Phil the
It
nasty.
stands for two things.
Phil the
It's
nastiest.
a badge of honor.
Phil the nastiest of men.
I don't like you trying. Are you trying to discredit me in those communities, Kellen?
I'm not trying to discredit you. I'm just trying to get the police knocking on your door.
Because I've seen your. They won't knock.
They can't.
They'll podge.
The police in this area don't have any arms.
They won't knock. The stuff I've committed warrants a battering ram.
Oh. Get on the floor. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, I'd be pretty feeble if they.
What were you doing? I was just playing guitar,
came
you
up
know.
here.
I got this podcast.
Got this.
Mm.
I have a
We're get-
podcast. I have a guitar.
We're getting off topic.
I have a piano in the
We're
back.
getting off topic. Sam, we talking it.
Well, we wanted to talk about why Joker inspired the incel, like why people thought it was.
Oh
gonna be
shit, there was that guy.
very
Yeah,
inspiring.
there
for
was that
incels.
guy who went to a cinema and he shot up a cinema after Heath Ledger's Joker.
That was for the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
I
that was,
swear.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Heath Ledger's. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
That
interrupt.
was so
the food.
dark. Like,
Fuck.
Yeah.
oh.
But like, what's weird is because
Yeah, that's fucked.
Joker kills people in that, but I don't remember him killing that many people like with a gun. You know what I mean?
But
No.
So I don't
Well, he
think
didn't like.
he's more. He's more like, oh, I set traps. I do all this like indirect stuff. I get people to like come to your door, unless it's like big like performances, because he's like a entertainment freak. But this guy just went to a cinema and just shot up a load of people. That's not even a good comparison. You clearly don't read the comics, loser.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
He just watched one film and he thought he knew. Goddamn bitch. Like,
Yeah.
Dude.
What's worse is like, imagine killing for misinterpreting a message. That's
none
even
of us
sillier
remember
than-
his name.
Like,
None of
that's-
us remember this dude's name. He was just the cinema gunman.
Okay, imagine killing because
Yeah.
you based your character off of Jared Leto's Joker. Genius. Oh,
Fucking idiots.
Mm.
No, I would say,
idiot.
It's silly.
you know, on a serious note though, the idea of the Joker is really popular.
Bring it
It's
back
really
now.
popular. You don't have
Yeah.
any other comic book villain that has as many films or kind of cinematic iterations as you do with the Joker. And that, again, goes into my point earlier about, as a society, we're like, oh yeah, more Joker,
we're
please, more Psycho.
Something. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the fact that he is just a dude. He's not got any powers. He's literally just a serial killer that's very like extravagant.
Yeah,
That's literally just like what. That must be something that we just eat up like chicken wings.
I think what resonated with like incels is like the Joker movie is like he's portrayed as like downtrodden, and he's he's a
Yeah.
product of the society he's placed
you feel
in.
bad for him. Yeah.
As like, yeah, like you sympathise with the villain in the film, and it's like a lot of incels saw themselves as like downtrodden by society, and it's just ridiculous and silly.
I don't think Reddit's
So,
not
like-
allowed to say incel anymore.
Are they not?
So I think they've came up with like a weird like other name, which is like inthelium or something, which is like another word for incel.
That's just fucked.
but
Because Reddit have banned it.
incel is short for
Yeah,
incelibate.
I don't know.
So what does inthel?
Involuntary.
Oh, involuntarily
Oh,
virgin.
Involuntary. Yeah.
some of them are not virgins.
Yeah. Which is like the saddest thing to branch.
You know, you were talking about Jared Bateman.
I am an
I think that's the
incel.
point though, because that's why they blame women. They blame women. Essentially,
Yeah.
that's where
Their
it goes.
violence is because women don't.
That's all they.
Because
yeah.
women are evil. Women don't choose them.
That's where that's where the nice guy shit comes in, where they're like, they never go for the nice guy.
Nice guys always
Always.
finish last. Should have known that.
You know, you were talking about
It's always
basing it
for
off
the,
of Jared
for
Leto.
the chads of
You know,
society.
that Jared Leto's Joker had like damaged across his forehead. Just a group of guys just getting celibate, like tattooed across, and start their revolution.
We are the cell.
Virgin
I'm
Virgin.
for life,
I'm
but
tired.
not. Wait, they don't have enough room for virgin for life, but not by choice.
You know what?
I'm
And then he just goes,
incel.
You know who is actually. You know who's
It
not.
goes down the neck.
You know who's also an incel because I only saw him fuck hookers in the movie. Is Patrick Bateman? Here's my god.
Well, yeah, but everyone said like, okay, I've got so much thoughts on American
Take me to
Psycho.
Dorsia, Harry.
Stop being
they-
weird.
Take me to
Stop being weird.
Dorsia.
Take me to
It's so,
Patrick
no, because like
Bateman.
everyone in the movie is like, I knew like Patrick Bateman, what a loser, and he's like, whenever he's speaking to someone, they always say, Patrick Bateman, that loser, and it's like, what the fuck is
That's how they
happening?
talk to
But
me
I
at-
think,
That's how they talk to me at my job. Don't say the name.
yeah,
They say it to your face
They
as
also-
well.
Don't say
They
the
grab
name
you
of
by the
it.
face.
No, they whisper in my ear a cat noise. That's only a joke Harry will get. Move on.
wait, did you not?
I've not told Sam.
Okay, all right. Let me catch up. So I think the reason people say to him like, "Oh, Patrick Bateman is such a loser," is because he's so deranged that he's pushing his subconscious thoughts about himself onto other people talking to him.
Hmm.
But also, it's meant to be like you don't know his identity, which also leads into he could be any dude on Wall Street, which then leads into most of Wall Street is probably living the same lives as him, thinking the same psychotic thoughts as
Yeah,
him,
that's what I was going to talk
and
about.
being as as repressed
Yeah.
as he is.
It's literally
And,
it's not just about him as like an American psycho, because obviously in the
everybody.
movie he talks
Yeah.
shit about other people as well. Like he hates other people
To their face.
Yeah,
but
literally. Like so,
sometimes it's in his mind. Sometimes he's literally talking shit to them, and they go.
it is literally just a
So it's like-
lifestyle about being an American psycho. Is that you're so narcissistic and self-absorbed. There's so many American psychos
Yeah.
around you. You're so self-absorbed. You only care about yourself, and everybody in the movie pretty much only cares about themselves. And it can even be linked to the
something I
American
had written
dream,
down
because it's like, oh, I want to
is-
get money.
yeah.
I want to be the best. I want to be celebrity status. I want everybody to know what I've done.
Yeah.
But then you're so self-absorbed that it's just
Exactly.
you're like every other American psycho. Boom.
But what I had written down is like you look around him and everyone is just as superficial as he is. Like, granted, he gets more annoyed, but that's only because we're following his perspective.
Yeah.
Like when they show him the business cards, he's more visibly.
He's visibly
like
sweating.
upset.
He's sweating
he's
at
like-
that point.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
wet. He's wet.
What?
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is,
And like even when he's
But like,
sorry, Sam, you continue.
I was just-
No,
I was-
you go.
no, please. I insist that I go first.
Okay,
just gonna-
okay, I'll go first.
I was gonna say, a psychopath, is like a chameleon. They match what they see in society and they put it back into society.
Yeah, that's what I watched. Okay, this is a ridiculous thing. I watched a thing on YouTube. This will be quick. I'm sorry for interrupting. Sam.
sorry, it glitched
This-
out.
You have
This
my
guy,
blessing.
he's a guy
No,
who
please.
he's on YouTube and he visits lots of rare, it can be mental or physical diseases amongst children specifically, like children that are born like with like bad genes and they have like these different syndromes where they've like deformed. And then in this new video,
Autism.
Sam, you laugh. Harry, why did you laugh? You're sick in the head, man.
Because you said bad genes, like someone was like,
Ripped
someone
genes.
just, I don't know, was just unhappy with how they. Sorry, I don't
I've got
know, I don't know
some
why I found
moldy
it funny,
denim
'cause
on my legs.
No, because I thought bad genes just completely undersold being a psychopath. Just have some.
Wait.
He's got the naughty
And then-
genes. He's got the naughty genes.
He's got some naughty
He
genes.
talks to a sociopath kid, a kid who's been diagnosed with as a sociopath. This links to you, Sam. So he talks to this
it
kid,
was
and this
me.
kid does
It was
talk about.
You're the
me.
kid.
He talks about how he manipulates people, and what he does is when he meets someone new, he looks at the way they talk, looks at the things that they like, and he lies and changes his personality to kind of chameleon them to get them to like him more. So
Yeah,
can
he
manipulate
accommodates them.
Yeah,
But
full
here's
circle.
the thing
sorry.
with American Psycho. With the American Psycho, he's adapting very poorly. I think I see him adapting very poorly because he has these outbursts in public. Like when he breaks up with his wife, he has these outbursts where like he's just unhinged, and then he like grabs his lawyer violently and he's like, "Stop it! Like, I'm not joking. I've killed these people."
Yeah,
and then he grabs him in person, and he's like crying. And then at the end, he like calms down, obviously. But I think with the chameleon thing, is like, adapting, and like the cover of American Psycho, the book is like his like flesh and blood, isn't it,
Wait,
on his face?
Harry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna slightly disagree with you there.
Ooh.
So a lot of
I don't think he's adapting
you
well.
don't think he's adapting well. I think he's adapting well because the fact that they think of Patrick Bateman as a fucking loser, they think of him as like, they don't focus on him.
Yeah.
He just fits in with the rest. When they're out having drinks, every
Yeah.
single Wall Street guy
Oh, I guess,
is the
yeah, he's
fucking
not a-
same. They're the same person. They all look the same,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They have
Slick
the
back
same
hair.
they have the same
Haircut.
haircut because they're
Yeah.
also materialistic and narcissistic. They all blend into one. And in the book, they keep referring to him as the boy next door. They go, "Oh, Patrick Bateman. Oh, he's the boy next door. He's so good." And in his head, he literally says, "I'm not the boy next door. I'm a fucking serial killer. I hatched a girl on the head the other day."
Yeah.
Okay? So
Yeah.
Oh, I
some of
see.
it, seeps over, like what you said, like his outburst. But overall, people just don't notice because he's like a chameleon. He's just copying everyone else's
Yeah.
activity.
Well, I was gonna
I
like somewhat go back on myself.
Oh
and
yeah,
be
yeah,
like,
sure. Now
he
you're
doesn't
gonna
look
go
like
back
he's
on
a-
yourself.
Yeah. Well,
No,
hold on.
I'm actually
No, 'cause
gonna
I was gonna
stand
talk
by
about. I was
Harry's
gonna talk
original
about his
point.
mask. No, because like he has those in the film. I haven't read the book. But he has that outburst in public when he's breaking up with
Yeah,
his wife.
true. Yeah.
And he's very angry, and that bit is shown to be a real bit because he's fantasizing about killing someone. And then he has that moment where he goes into the cubicle to like strangle that guy, and then when it turns out like he doesn't want to strangle that guy, he walks out and he's bumping into people, and he grabs the lawyer, and he's very emotional, and he calls him even.
True.
And but I think it comes for every guy on Wall Street is like this due to the fact that the lawyer doesn't believe him
Yeah.
and thinks it's a big
Yeah,
joke and everything.
He thinks
But,
it's so funny. He goes, "That was a good
his-
joke, Bateman." Oh,
Yeah.
he doesn't call him Bateman. He calls him Davies.
He calls him Paul.
Davies,
I don't know
is
what he
it?
calls.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's also another thing is that throughout the movie he confuses other people, and people constantly confuse him for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think another
They're
cool
all
theory,
blending into
yeah,
one.
another cool ending to the movie is that he goes to the lawyer. Hey, I killed Paul Bennett or whatever his fucking name is. I killed Paul.
Paul Allen.
Yeah, Paul Allen.
Allen, yeah.
And he goes.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, you didn't. I had lunch with Paul." But it can also link to the fact, like, this is another twist ending. Because everyone looks the same, he killed someone that just looked like Paul Allen, but because he's so delusional, he thought it was Paul Allen. So the guy he didn't even
But
know.
I think
That's a good thing.
That's like
I
a
think,
twist
like, the
ending.
end-
That is a
I've-
good theory, actually.
That's
That's
a
a
good
really
ending,
good theory.
yeah.
That kind of explains
I
it,
think-
to be honest.
but I
'cause
think,
it's
like,
fucking confusing.
I think the reason that reason at the end where it's like it goes back into his face, and he seems to have calmed down. Is it like completely? It goes full circle, and it's like the cycle is gonna repeat itself. He will have a psychotic breakdown, and it will come back to him being sane, and then he will have another one, and it will just keep going on until like the end of time. And it's like hinted that everyone around him is feeling the same thing. But what I was gonna say about the chameleon thing is like, it's very stressed in American Psycho. There's in like the imagery of his face and what his true face is, especially with the mask scene where he applies it and then he peels off.
Yeah.
He peels it off slowly. It's
There's
like,
an idea of
but
Patrick
like it's not
Bateman.
revealing anything.
Yeah.
The idea of Patrick Bateman, but then like I think we get. I might be reading between the lines a bit with this one. Not reading between like going off slightly, but when he kills Paul Allen, like Jared Leto's character, and his face is coated in blood, and his hair is like a mess, he's happy to just sit there and smoke a cigar, and I think that's the closest we see to his real face in the movie.
Yeah.
And his hair, I don't know, this is like pretty far out there, but his hair kind of formed two bumps in like kind of horn shapes.
Ooh.
Shit.
It looked like
That's good.
it didn't look
Religious
just
imagery.
mental, but it kind of looked like devilish imagery, slightly,
No,
especially with the blood coating the face
that's good stuff.
and like devil horns. Yeah. But this kind of, I don't know. I don't want to speak for too like. I don't want to override the conversation.
I like the
but
cool theories. I like the cool theories. I think they're quite cool because it's something you have to do for that book
I think-
and that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
That's why
what is
it's
the-
such
I
a good
think
film.
the
'cause
use
it
of
just lets
the-
you
yeah.
sprout from the original source. You go, oh, did he kill
Well-
anyone? Did he kill everyone? Did he drop a chainsaw down the stairs?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The author actually,
didn't.
the director for the movie felt a lot of regret in filming the movie because it was a female director, and she felt, which was actually quite impressive for at the time having a female director for a movie that was that big. Shout out to the females thrusting their breasts
Shout
into society.
Shout out to all my bitches in the audience.
Okay, Sam, that was inappropriate.
All right, silence him, silence him,
Silence
cut him off.
But the director said that she felt she wished it's more difficult to portray a certain message within a film than it is in the book. In the book, it's extremely ambiguous. But when you're making a film, the whole point of the film is that you're portraying these facts across, but through images.
Exactly.
And so she felt a lot of regret that in the film, because when you watch a film, you're very much like, oh, I need to work out what the meaning of this is. She felt a lot of regret that to the audience, she made it seem like he imagined it all. Because a lot of people are just like, when they watch the film, for my brother and my mum, for instance, they were like, oh, he obviously just dreamt it all. But in the book, it's meant to be way more ambiguous than that, which is what the director struggled
like what
with.
did he do and what didn't he do?
Yeah, so it's just
But
it's just a contrast
what I
between
was,
books and
like,
film.
I was gonna cross-examine the use of mirrors in both American Psycho, The Shining, and No Country for Old Men, because in No Country for Old Men, there's tons of shots where like they're looking into mirrors and stuff, or that like reflection is coming back at them. And also in American Psycho, especially like the scene where he's peeling off his face,
the spa scene
to the mirror, and also where he's like, the first glimpse that we get at him being psychotic is like where he's at the bar.
Oh yeah,
And then you'll notice it cuts to a mirror shot, and he's like, I want to cut your insides up and play with them or something. And it's like, that's the first, it's like the mirror is meant to reflect the true nature, I think, in both films. And The Shining, it's like when he's walking down the corridor and he's slowly going insane, Jack Nicholson is starting to like freak out like randomly as he's walking down this corridor, like he's like jumping around stuff. But if you look at it, every time he's walking down that corridor and he passes a mirror, that's when he's freaking out. Like every time there's 3 mirrors in the hallway, and every time he's getting closer, each mirror he walks past freaks him out until you get the scene where he's back in time.
Do you reckon it is that?
And he's looking into the mirror, talking to himself.
Do you reckon it is that duality of man? Like you can even make references to this, like within like, this might sound funny. So I watched Jekyll and Hyde is a.
Oh, you're bringing
Jekyll
it back.
Jekyll and Jive. Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde is a better example. I remember seeing in a movie where Dr. Jekyll is as himself, and he walks past 3 mirrors, and in the mirror he sees Mr. Hyde, which is kind of a good link.
Yeah.
But also, this might sound funny. In the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire series, the Green Goblin, he sees a different person in the mirror, doesn't he? He sees the Green Goblin, but as himself.
Yeah, well, mirrors are just
Osborn,
consistently used to portray.
Well, a mirror is how you see yourself.
Mirrors
isn't
are just
it? You look in a
consistently-
mirror. That's you. That's the only time
Yeah.
you really get to see yourself, and then other people see you.
Well, no, I
You
disagree. I disagree.
Oh.
Your
No.
mirror, the way when you're looking in the mirror, you're seeing
refuse.
No,
your
it's-
perception of yourself.
Sorry, that's what I mean.
You're
That's
seeing
what I
your
mean.
perception
That's how
of
you
yourself.
See you. Other people see you in a different way, but the mirror is the only way you get to
That's
see yourself as yourself.
But people looking at your reflection,
Sorry.
and it's even skewed.
people looking at your reflection will see their perception of you and the way society deems you.
But it is even
which
a
is
bit,
why it's like,
it's a bit skewed because you see the reverse of you. Like, have you ever like looked at yourself in the mirror and then, or like on Snapchat when you can look at yourself in the front camera.
But
then you
I
look
put
at
a
photos
filter.
of yourself,
I always
you'll flip.
I put the dog filter on every time on Snapchat. That's how I see myself.
I don't know.
That
I
is
can't
I
handle it.
always go ugh.
that is the reflection of my perception. I'm a dog boy. What can I say?
What I was saying is like
Man,
you don't
it-
even
it-
see yourself because have you ever just like, I don't know, looked at yourself like, oh yeah, I look good at this party, and then photos come out the next day of a front-facing camera which
And you're
catches a
like-
real image, and
And you're-
because it's flipped,
yeah.
you're like, oh, what the fuck?
You're throwing.
I
You're,
look so ugly.
Well, like
you're
especially,
throwing up in
I don't know.
Callum's sink.
Especially watching the podcast. Watching podcast, I can't watch podcasts back that well.
That
I
we've
really
done.
hate watching it because I'm like, is that how? Yeah, because I'm like, is that how I act?
'Cause
really?
that is what you look
And
like.
it's like,
No.
that's, yeah, exactly. It's like that's the real perception
I'm sorry,
that
Harry.
I'm seeing
That is actually what you
from
look
like being
Are you
filmed. It's
are you
like,
kidding? Are
Yeah,
you
I'm sorry.
kidding, Harry? I masturbate over it. I watch them back on YouTube and I masturbate over it.
you wouldn't dare.
Sam actually sellotapes a bit of cardboard over me and himself, and he just watches Harry and me.
He watches my. He
Harry,
watches my
Sam
giggle.
actually makes me send him an edited version, which only has Harry's
Where he's
voice.
muted
It's
both of
Harry
you
in
Yeah.
3 boxes.
talking to one another.
No, one's got.
Now
one's
that we
an
have enough
angel,
podcasts,
one's
I
the
could set
devil,
one
and
up.
One's Harry.
Yeah, the duality of
Oh,
man.
just-
The
Right back.
trio.
I've got a prior date with my mum, so I've got like 15 more minutes. So I just want to throw in Gone Girl again
Oh,
for the lack of female representation of psychopaths in movies. Now, is this
that is bad.
is it bad though? Is it a comment on lack of female representation in movies, or is it a comment on the fact that you don't have that many female psychopaths? Or
Do you have a statistic? Do you have a statistic?
I do not have a statistic.
I don't know, but I think from general observations that is kind of true. There is more male
Yeah,
psychopaths
I think
in the
isn't
world
it something
than
around about
females.
1/4 of all psychopaths are female,
Like-
and then the other 3/4. It must be something like that.
So what's the deal with that? Is it because obviously people don't become? Do they become serial killers? Do you be born good and
I
then
think you
be-
can.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah, exactly. It's the nature versus
Ooh.
nurture debate. But if there's so many few female serial killers, is that because it's natural that people are born serial killers and maybe females aren't born bad as much? I don't know, man. I know some pretty bad bitches.
I think also, I don't know.
Are you talking about
men
like
are just
tabula rasa?
more impulsive. I feel like men are more desire
Tabula
driven.
rasa.
That's a sweeping statement, though, isn't it? Like,
Stereotypical.
I guess it's a stereotype. So it's not a fact, though, is it?
It's not a fact because every person's different, but there has been through oppression of women and men. The stereotype of men is that, I don't know, men are perceived. Well, you never really have women oppressing men. In very rare cases, you have a lot of men repressing women.
Apart from
I think it is perceived that
dominatrixes.
men are very, very much. Because we are. We're
Not going into that, man.
We
We're
are-
not talking about him.
But I think men are just
We're not
act on their
talking about
desires
him.
more. I think women are literally just nicer.
No.
Or
Maybe.
just a
Yeah.
theory. Is it because a man has more
Oh.
testosterone? They're biologically on general basis.
Dude,
Men are stronger
I
than
want to use that in
women.
court.
So because of the more testosterone, men are stronger than women. Are they just acting out their desires more? If a woman was stronger, would she kill more people? That's my question to you.
Ooh.
If she could
Well,
overpower a man,
I don't know because
Because-
it ties into more than that. It ties into masculinity and the way we perceive masculinity, slash what's like forced on us as
I'm
young
somewhat.
men,
Sorry,
and it's
I
like
just want to say
very masculine driven to be
sorry,
prideful.
I'm slightly tongue in cheek here. I don't want anyone to take this out as like genuine beliefs that I think of certain things, but it is an interesting conversation. So
Yeah.
carry on. Sorry, it's an interesting conversation.
I know, and I'm not like, but I think men are worse than women.
I think men are worse than women.
I think, but not just because of like nature. I think because of slight nurture and the way society deems men slash what we're taught. It's like toxic masculinity and stuff. It's like taught to be prideful, taught to be angry, and just like completely repress emotion.
I think it
leads to these violent cases
drastic measures.
of like male outbursts.
Like
which
even
are just-
suicide rates
yeah.
are higher amongst men. I think statistically.
Yeah.
I think it is very much like there must be something biological. I think there is something biological with men. That means that
that they differ.
they're
but
not as.
The killing gene.
I feel like women are just
could
more
look it up,
controlled.
actually.
Men are just randomly more
I'll look
impulsive.
at. Wait, hold on. I'll look up and I'll see whether there's more male serial killers.
Definitely.
No,
to
there's
females
definitely
than-
more.
Yeah,
There's definitely
because I think
more. Or-
Oh shit! I just
or-
had a flash of an idea that I wanted to talk about.
Go on.
Well, it's a quick flashback while Harry's googling this. So, in American Psycho, at the end, he wants to tell everyone, and I think the ending shot's about killing people. And at the ending shots, it zooms in on his face,
that's so interesting.
and he's talking about
No, sorry, I found something really, really
Carry on,
good.
Callum.
Wait, can I just finish
About,
this thought?
like-
Harry, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Shut
sorry,
the fuck up.
sorry. Sorry, man. I found a good study, and it was good.
This will only be a couple
And it
of
was good.
minutes, if not a minute, and I'm wasting time. Okay, so American Psycho, ending shots, zooming on his face, and it goes like, I've done these murders, I've told people about, I've even told my lawyer, and no one cares. Ties into the narcissism of like everyone focusing on themselves, but also ties into that thing where he desires for his mental world, which is what killing people, in his personal life, to collide with the real world, and he gets like a rush from it. That's what he's craving at the end of the movie. And Ed Kemper talks about in an interview where he talks about he didn't get caught by the police, he revealed himself to the police. And he talks about the rush that he got from holding a decapitated head dripping in blood, walking down a bloody I think it was a motel corridor, and
Well,
people
that's
walking
interesting,
past
'cause
him and
that's
looking
how-
at him weirdly, and getting frightened, and that
That's-
rush that he got from taking his personal life where he's doing all these awful things to women, and then bringing it into the real world, and then revealing his secret. The rush that he got from that was like
Well, that's how
bigger
most
than
serial
anything else
killers
he
get
ever got. He
caught.
got a thing from it.
Well,
That's how most serial killers get caught. They tend to brag.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
They can't help but
because they
brag,
can't feel
which is what leads
their
to their
normal
downfall.
emotions aren't in check like ours are. They watch a film, they feel nothing. We feel.
Or are they?
Well, they need the kind of extremes of reality. You know, chopping someone's head
Yeah.
off and showing it to people, or telling the police, you know, oh, someone's done this.
Well-
or you know, tell me more about. You know when the serial killer goes to the crime scene and asks the police about the crime, because that feeling
Yeah.
of being in the danger zone, but you know, not getting caught, is what exhilarates them, because they're not kind of built emotionally like we are, because they're, you know, mentally
Crave that.
Well, are they better? Because Woody Harrelson talks about in Natural Born Killers that he's an evolved human.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
He's an evolved
Yeah,
human
shit,
being.
yeah.
They believe that they've ascended humanity,
Yeah.
and they can see it for as fickle and as flawed as it is.
Yeah.
And they know exactly what to do.
I agree.
And it's
Because they act
yeah.
out.
I think that is their perspective.
But it's like
They act
yeah.
outside of its society.
because would that be is that an evolved like
I think,
state,
yeah, I
seeing
watched a-
humanity in
I watched a film theorist
in that
thing.
lens.
He talked about The Walking Dead, and there's a character in it called, it's played by, I can't remember, I think it's Negan, Negan,
Oh yeah, the guy who played
And,
comedian in
yeah.
Watchmen. Yeah.
and about how he's sociopathic. He shows sociopathic like tendencies in it. But if you're psychopathic and you're in these drastic situations where it's all about your survival, you're always gonna win because your survival comes first, rather than like a normal person like us, or maybe I don't know, maybe me and
Yeah.
like Harry, maybe not so Sam. Where we will
Morals. Yeah,
react
morals.
irrationally and emotionally rather than surviving and being like in this way. So it's an evolution of some kind
Yeah.
where we're always going to put our survival at first. But I don't think many people want to
Quickly
sleep
before-
with an emotional wreck. Reproduction and that.
Quickly before like we end this, I found two things
Yes.
that I think are very interesting. So researchers found that obviously I was talking earlier about the animalistic apex predator kind of wolfish behavior of psychopaths in movies, especially Natural Born Killer and stuff like that. But so researchers found that male serial killers tend to hunt their victims and strangers to them and stuff, whereas female serial killers tend to gather their victims and instead of targeting people, they gather them, which is really strange.
Does that
Yeah.
imply that they have a premeditative kind of thought to it, as opposed to just
Yeah.
killing out of impulse?
They have a ascended hunter mentality than the male serial killers, essentially.
Yeah.
But then this other study showed that there is evidence that testosterone levels are higher in individuals who exhibit aggressive behavior. So it's male serial killers are more there than women,
Better.
essentially. The higher
Yeah.
the testosterone level.
Testosterone.
No, they're not better.
Is,
They're not better. It's not. I'm not implying it's a competition.
they are gentler. They're kinder.
They rank higher than the female
But,
serial killer.
They care.
But the more testosterone, the more levels of aggression